It is July 6, 2019, at Teterboro Airport, New Jersey. A private plane lands. On board is Jeffrey Epstein, a financier and one of the most powerful men in the United States. He returns from Paris, convinced he is still untouchable. In his mind, the 2008 deal is still valid. American intelligence had the evidence to bury him back then. But instead of a trial, he got what jurists call the deal of the century. 13 months of private jail, 12 hours a day of freedom to go to the office, and the darkest clause. Total immunity, not just for him, but for anyone who had helped him. An insurance policy, signed by the United States government, kept hidden from the victims. That is why Epstein laughed at the law, because the law had signed a contract with him. But that day, in Teterboro, waiting for him, is not the usual limousine. It is the feds. The hatch opens. Jeffrey Epstein walks down the steps, and, for the first time in decades, reality hits him. He is arrested by the agents. While they were handcuffing him, on the tarmac, another team was executing a warrant to search his massive Manhattan residence. It is here that they find the physical evidence that will deny any possibility of bail. Agents force open the residence's safe. Inside, they find a fake expired Austrian passport, but with Epstein's photo and a fictitious name, with residence listed in Saudi Arabia. This is the fatal detail. It convinces the judge that Epstein could flee and must remain in jail. In the safe, there was also nearly $70,000 in cash and 48 loose diamonds. But the most important clue of all were his hard drives and CDs. His archive, material containing thousands of documents that will shake the world and reveal the dark side of many untouchable people. But who really was this man? Jeffrey Epstein was born in Brooklyn on January 20th, 1953, into a Jewish family. Since childhood, he developed an extraordinary talent for numbers. He studied mathematics and physics at Cooper Union and at New York University, but never obtained a degree. In the mid-70s, he began teaching at the Dalton School. It was through his students that he came into contact with powerful parents, like Ace Greenberg, a legendary trader and partner at Bear Stearns, a company that hired him as an assistant in 1976. By 1980, he was already a senior partner. In 1981, he leaves everything and founds J. Epstein and Company. His company operated differently from any other. The requirements were absurd. He accepted only clients with a net worth of at least $1 billion. He didn't ask for percentages, but a fixed fee. In exchange, he demanded total control. He wanted to manage the client's entire wealth. He had about 20 accountants and several good-looking assistants. But no one, except him, could touch or analyze the accounts. He made all investment decisions alone. His strategy was the accumulation of social power. He kept high-level men close to him. Among them were Bill Clinton and the future president, Donald Trump. In 2002, Trump said of him, "I've known Jeffrey for 15 years. Terrific guy. Has a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes women as much as I do." No doubt, Jeffrey loves the social life. Epstein aimed higher and higher. He even tried to get close to Vladimir Putin, traveling often to Russia to look for girls, and if possible, establish a relationship with the Kremlin. Himmler, something that, however, never happened. Then there was his kingdom, the island. Epstein bought Little St. James in the Virgin Islands in 1998 for about $8 million. He transformed it completely, deforesting the native vegetation to build a pharaonic complex designed to guarantee isolation and control. In the center was the main residence, where he hosted his friends. But the most disturbing building was the temple, a blue and white striped structure with a golden dome. Many speculated that it hid an elevator to underground rooms. Later inspections revealed it was a gym or music room, but the aura of mystery has never faded. And then the surveillance. The island was seeded with cameras. The videos published in January 2026, part of the famous 3 million files, come largely from the servers seized precisely here. Epstein recorded everything, probably to have blackmail material on his guests. For years by his side was Ghislaine Maxwell. She wasn't simply his wife. She was much more. She was the manager of the abuse, daughter of the powerful tycoon Robert Maxwell. It was she who recruited the girls, often very young and vulnerable. She approached them and took them to his house, where the worst happened. Today, she is serving 20 years in prison. The first collapse occurs in 2005, when a 14-year-old girl reports the abuse. Investigators identify dozens of victims and draft a 53-page list. Epstein risks life imprisonment, but his lawyers managed to reach an agreement with the then Miami prosecutor, Alex Acosta. Result: a ridiculous sentence of 13 months, with work permits and federal immunity. We return to 2019. This time, the New York prosecutor's office opens new federal charges for sex trafficking a minor. Epstein pleads not guilty, tries to use his wealth, offers a $100 million bail, and asks for house arrest. The judge, Richard Berman, rejects it. Epstein is locked up in the Metropolitan Correctional Center. The end comes soon. On August 10, 2019, Jeffrey Epstein is found dead in his cell. Suicide by hanging. The scandal engulfs Alex Acosta, turned Trump's labor secretary, who is forced to resign precisely for having negotiated that lenient deal. In 2008, shortly after Epstein's death, Ghislaine Maxwell is arrested. But the real ticking time bomb was the documents. Most of the files remain encrypted or sealed until late January 2026. It was then that nearly 3.5 million new documents, not just legal correspondence, but unseen videos and photos. What have we found? Donald Trump. His name appears thousands of times. Nearly 3,200 mentions. Many are indirect or refer to press summaries. Trump has commented that these files exonerate him because they do not describe direct crimes. Prince Andrew. His position has worsened. The new videos from 2026 have consolidated proof of his closeness to Epstein in the crucial period. Stephen Hawking, in one of the details, is more surreal. The famous physicist appears in emails where Epstein tried to deny the scientist's participation in alleged orgies. Bill Clinton. New photos have emerged in informal settings that have reignited controversies about his numerous trips with a financier. Jeffrey Epstein is dead, but his files are more alive than ever. These 3 million documents from 2026 are not just useless paper. They are the map of a power system that for decades believed itself untouchable.